Annette with Annette's Astrology Corner, and this is your energetic reading for June 5th. And today is the day before we have the Sun and Venus conjunction. So I think it's important to talk about. So today is an in-between day. So we just had a big new moon that was really influenced by this conjunction, but then we have a day in between, we have an alignment. So today is a day I feel deeply of realization. A major player in today is, of course, going to be, I believe, one thing that really spoke to me was Neptune. Neptune is a huge player in today. Now, Neptune is making a delicious sextile over to Pluto, which Pluto is involved in a Grand Cross. A Grand Earth Trine. I don't want to say the Grand Cross yet. And so to me, when you get Neptune and Pisces in a sextile with Pluto and Capricorn, one of the things that come up is I think you're sort of intuitively guided to take a look at the earth energy. It's very confusing because I kind of feel like this energy is a very polar opposite type of energy. You've got this dreamy, unrealistic, intuitive, very, very intuitive planet sextiling Pluto, which is kind of harsh. It's a very malefic planet. So to me, Neptune is very benefic. It can be malefic in its own way because it can make you want to escape your reality at all times. And so there's a malefic aspect to it. But I deeply believe that by nature, I look at it as a very feminine, loving planet that kind of just has this very innocent aspect to it and believes that dreams can become a reality, especially when it's in its own home energy, which is Pisces. And then it's sextiling Pluto, which is kind of like getting your hand slapped. It's kind of like, it's such a very harsh energy. When Pluto is in Capricorn, I believe it's all about adding structure and being very aware of the depth that the darkness can go within you. It's a very psychological process. I believe that it looks at everything with a very scrutinizing eye. And when you have this energy, at the same time, Saturn, which is Capricorn's ruler, squaring off with Neptune and a Mutable Grand Cross, I believe there's a little bit of a duality in the way that you're going to envision something that you're very hopeful about. So it is a reality check. I think it is a beautiful energy in the sense that it makes us much more realistic. So I drew a couple cards today, and just because I'm being compelled to be very spiritual in this energy as much as I am very logical and rational. Logic and rational thinking to me is astrology. It's why I became obsessed with it. It adds logic to things that to me seem illogical. When people do things that I don't expect or that are uncharacteristic, or when people act irrational, I want to know why. So psychologically, I'm compelled, of course. And then I want to know why. Like, my brain is a continuous why question because I have a Gemini rising. But I am very led by Neptune for some reason. Neptune is really speaking to me and has been speaking to me today greatly. I was getting ready and all I could feel was Neptune. So Neptune has a message. And so I believed that if I did tarot on top of my daily, you'll get the very rational, logical side of energy, but you'll also get this very spiritual aspect as well because of the sextile that's going on today. So the two cards that I drew were these two. And, they have very different messages, but one thing that you're going to understand as you move through this Gemini transit, and maybe some of this will clarify Gemini energy for some of you. Gemini energy they have a lot of different ways to come to the same conclusions. So that's why they talk so much. You ever known a Gemini? Well, I'm a Gemini, so you guys know how much I freaking talk. Like, I'm just like, blah, blah, blah. I just talk so much, and you're like, get to the point. Because there's so many ways that I can explain the same detail. And I believe that that's what you're going to be facing in this particular transit. The Mutable Grand Cross, as well as this Venus-Sun conjunction. You're going to be taking a look at this in detail. And one of the things that I think is going to become very clear to you, very crystal clear to you, is that there's more than one way to get to the same result. And because people communicate and understand and learn things on all levels, and we're in a very teaching time because we have this very significant new moon and this very significant Venus alignment with the sun, you're being taught something. You're being taught at a very elevated level. So this is not like, yes, it is about your immediate desires, what you're immediately compelled to desire, or what you're immediately compelled to add into your life that can add some significant pleasure, or you really want to understand your relationships, or you feel like you need to communicate about relationships issues, especially if this is a person that you deeply desire to remain in your life. You want them to know you. You want to explain yourself. You want to explain what you want. You want to explain what you desire. You're going to talk more in this energy. So for those that have difficulties talking, you can be very surprised by the amount that you start to open up in this energy. This energy, you need people. This is not an energy to isolate yourself. Some of you, what the conundrum could be is that you're a person that desires isolation, but there's this compelling desire to share your thoughts, or share your ideas, or share your desires, or connect with somebody on a very deep level. That's going to be very compelling in this energy. You're going to find that for some of you, this really pulls you out of an area where I think some of you have been trapped in for a very long time. Again, that's letting go of some of these karmic cycles that, deeply no longer serve you. One of the things that I noticed about this card is your Six of Swords. One of the things that's very compelling about this card is I see this very smooth water over here. So this is a very dualistic card to me. So we've got this very smooth water over here, and we've got this very turbulent water over here. We've got all this knowledge at the helm of the boat, at the front of the boat, at the forefront of our mind. And we're moving consciously away from something. And this person that's steering this boat, steering the conversation, steering the thoughts, steering the direction of people's thoughts, is looking at this very smooth water. But if you notice, his staff is in the turbulent water as well. So when you're taking a look at what this card represents as far as on a communication level, I think there's a lot of knowledge that has been attained and will be attained through this process of this conjunction and this new moon. You're going to look at things you're going to be able to adapt between two different mindsets by the time this conjunction is done, by the time this new moon has fully unfolded. And I think what you're going to find is that you have a respect and you have a really realistic idea of what you're getting yourself into. That would be that turbulent aspect to the water. And then there would be that, but I'm looking for smooth sailing. I'm looking to connect with somebody mentally, to be engaged mentally. I need to share my ideas and I need to be understood in this energy. So for some of you that are in relationships where you're not fully understood, you're going to find that June is going to be a month where you could dissolve that relationship, because if you guys can't understand each other, if you can't get to a level where your ideas are being shared and communicated effectively, and then you're being understood completely, you're going to feel a deep desire to connect with somebody else, to connect with somebody that can do that for you. See, what you're really hoping for is this Four of Swords, and this is a much more grounded energy. This person is very, very complacent. He has went through something, has put peace to me, there's some knowledge that he has attained. He is at peace with this knowledge. He really is, intent on resolving these issues up here, but there's not an urgency to do that. Also, this could be the knowledge that you have won one battle in the midst of life's, several battles that you still have in front of you. The dualistic mindset is, I'm very, very happy with myself that there is something that I'm pulling out of this, and then that's making you able to face these challenges. You're able to sleep through it. You're able to let it ground you. You're able to let it, really envelop you. You want the challenge to really move forward with this. Today's cards are very important because as we go along this journey, we are going to be challenged to face something, and it is very significant today. Look, for some of you that have been isolating yourselves for a very long time, or have been settling for less, or have been misunderstood, or are in relationships that just don't seem to understand you or don't give you pleasure, like the majority of the relationship needs to be pleasure in this energy. Some of you are going to find that you have an intuitive calling to get out of those relationships. You will be bored. You will be restless. You will be overly moody with those people because instinctually you're being compelled to move away from them. When we have this Neptune in a sextile with Pluto, we really want to ground our foundation. We really want to be realistic about our dreamy mindset. I mean, we're looking at the big picture. We're looking at years to come. We're making significant relationship decisions about years to come. So for some of us, that could be, making a commitment to somebody who deeply understands you and who you are deeply intuitively compelled to align with. I think there's a lot of, I've been watching people, and there's a lot of people that disagree that this is soulmate energy. This is a time when we are looking at things from a couple different perspectives. We are not just conforming to what we have to do. Gemini energy isn't about what you have to do. It needs to make rational, logical sense to you to move forward with this. And it's very inconsistent. So it can make a decision to say, like, you know what? I'm not happy. This doesn't bring me pleasure. I'm not understood. And it can be very volatile energy, very unpredictable energy. It's because it's going to get you to shake up your life enough to kind of demand some of these issues to be resolved. This is about being open-minded and about being adaptable and about being versatile. And if you have a very fixed energy source in your life that is having a difficult time right now, understanding why you are acting like so authentic. I believe this is a time where we get really authentic. We get really authentic about what we deeply desire because we're really kind of attaching to this Neptune sextile, and we need to move forward with people that we're being intuitively guided to, because I think many of us are being intuitively guided to take a look at, years to come with this Grand Earth Trine. And so the mutable T-square could actually give us enough energy to really honestly take care of this, because what's happening, it's in a negative vibration. Venus in Gemini and the Sun in Gemini is going to quincunx Pluto. So what you desire, what you want, what pleases you may not have longevity associated with it right now. You know, this is a transit that's a quick, this will be very quick moving. So it's an energy that builds up, and it's like, today is a day where you're going to take a look at your desires. You're going to take a look at your relationships. You're going to take a look at everything in a very simplistic level, a very rational level. And you're going to look at it and you're going to think, do I see my life with these people? Do they understand me? Can I communicate effectively? I mean, am I being pleased? I mean, do I feel good being around these people? You know, do they bring me down, or is it optimistic? You know, like, you can't be around deeply intense people in this type of energy, because when you get around Gemini energy, it really just wants to have fun. And if you've got a gloomy person constantly sucking your energy down, you're going to feel restless and moody and irritated, and for some of you, you may decide to seek attention from people that make you feel good. So I think today realizations are possible and can be brought about in one of two ways. I believe that some of you it's going to be brought about in this Grand Earth Trine. It just seems like there's somebody that you're connecting with. There is somebody that I still believe in the twin flame soulmate energy. I do. But I believe that, you know, this energy is going to make or break it. Some of us are confusing twin flame energy with karmic relationships, because both of them have a compelling pull to bring you together. This energy is deciphering, what are you in a karmic relationship? Or are you in a soul flame, twin flame like type mindset, depending on how you look at it? I believe that through this transit, through the month of June and into July, I believe that if your relationships prevail, you are in a very special bond. I believe that if some of you end up breaking up because there's just a lot of misunderstandings and the communication is not very effective, and you're not feeling a lot of pleasure when you're around this person, and there's not a really good connection intellectually as well as physically, I believe those relationships are going to dissolve. And these are going to be abruptly, guys. You know, Gemini energy is very abrupt. Now, when it moves into Cancer, it's going to go from this abrupt energy, you know, making quick decisions and ending things quickly so that it can go off and feel pleasure, to, you know what, I really just want to feel nurtured and loved. These energies are very compelling right now, and we are considering both the turbulent nature of our relationship and how well we're understood, and can we steer this. For some of us that are rebuilding relationships, and there has been a lot of work that we've been putting into sustaining a relationship, but we're trying to calm the turbulent waters right now. And we're hoping that logic and reason can get those waters to calm down, and that the logic and reason will prevail over this emotional time. I believe that some of us will get some clarity during this transit. During June is going to be a very clarifying month for everybody. It's a very cleansing month. We get to drop some old karmic paths and we get to move along a brand new path. But it has a mutable Grand Cross in it for the majority of the month, on and off here. And so it does this in two extremes, you know. It does it either, it motivates you to add some consistency and longevity and some security to your life through that Grand Earth Trine when it starts out, and then, or it says, I'm going to pull you in 20 different directions until you give up. That's kind of the mindset. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again